Aries. I want to show you this. Glare. Okay. It's your Aries greeting card by Kim Kranz. She did the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. She did the Animal Spirit deck and an Archetypes deck also. I think that's what it's called, Archetypes. I don't have that one. Wonderful artist, and I love how she connects with the celestial entities. Okay, so also with animals. I love how she just expresses everything, actually. That's neither here nor there. This is your Aries cosmic weather report for the week of November 10th. If you want to see the rest of this video, go to YouTube and check it out. There's some intense celestial weather. Aries is really just still in it. Venus-Mars opposition today, 11:10. Mars stations direct on 11:14 with the new moon in Scorpio also that evening. By the end of this week, Mars, your ruler, will have finished its retrograde, having traveled all the way back to where it was on June 5th, 2020. The best possible use of the energy this week while we are still retro and still being perceived as backwards is to do personal work on healthy boundaries and self-reflection. Use this week to feel into what's not right. If you're not feeling right, if you're not feeling good, then do some self-reflection. So you might need to start with how others are making you feel. And I'm getting the sense that there's some strong judgment and on your part. Also, probably you're getting that from someone else or someone else, multiple someone else's. It feels like being misunderstood. It feels like the other person is just objectively wrong from your perspective. Unfortunately, that person may be holding the same belief about you from their perspective. The thing with the Aries energy right now in the retrograde. So retrograde, we've talked about this before, but I don't know if you paid attention or were privy to that video. Retrograde motion is really just a perception thing from where we are here on Earth. So because of the orbits of our planet and the other planets, there are times when from here it looks like the other planets are moving backward. And so that's what's taking place right now with Mars and has been taking place since since September. Okay, in September, it began to appear, or from where we are, Mars looks like it's moving backward through the different constellations that it had already traveled through. And for you, that means that your energy, because the ruler of you is Mars, your ruler's energy is being transmitted to our perspective here on Earth backward. Your energy is being received by the people in your environment in a distorted fashion. So you're sending messages out one way, messages, energy, intention, whatever it is, one way, and you think it's clear and clean and good or whatever, and whatever you think it is not how they're experiencing it when they receive it. I don't know what the magical solution is for making what we're giving get received clearly, but I do know that a solution to feeling bad is re-empowering yourself and doing that from the perspective of self-reflection, and tapping into the best use of energy, the best maintenance, the best energy hygiene, checking out where in your life other people's energy is seeping into you, where in your life your own energy is leaking out, and tighten things up, batten down the hatches. That's a phrase, right? It is a thing. That's what this week is about. There may be also some conflict, okay? There may be some conflict with the Libra, with the Venus and Mars opposition. Venus is Libra's ruler. It is in the sign of Libra. Mars is our ruler in the sign of Aries right now. These two are directly opposing each other in this moment at a 100-degree angle. And there's some major tension, and the energy just kind of ping, 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 ping. The Libra nature is one for banter, witty banter, also arguments and debate. And Aries fire is just going to like take the bait every time, right? Oh, it's so tempting to take that bait. But what may be taking place with a literal Libra person, or just in a Libra style, debate style, argumentative style, could be feeling really tense and yucky to you. So you could be having an experience where someone is just really having oppositional views to you. And they're also not perceiving you as you think they should. They're not perceiving you as you gave it out, right? Like we just talked about. So there's some confusion there. The strategy for surviving the rest of this week, and honestly into next week as well, because we won't get that forward momentum until we've really been a few days into the direct motion of Mars. Just like last week, Mercury stationed direct just after the election, but we really had time standing still for several days. And that was an expression of this sort of like pause that takes place before the forward momentum gets gained again. And Mercury is actually, just when it was beginning to gain some momentum here for real, is actually plunging into the waters of Scorpio, which is slowing it down. And it may feel funky, it may feel a little bit yucky, but authenticity and vulnerability are key, as well as this one word: listen. When it comes to the folks that you're having this debate or argument type dynamic with, listen to them. And really, like, hear the words that they're saying, and don't be thinking of how it's making you feel. Don't be thinking of the next thing that you have to say, but really just come back moment to moment to the words that are leaving their mouth and hearing them, hearing what they're saying, and then, if you can, validate their feelings, particularly if it's related to politics, because poverty trauma is triggered right now. And there are so many of us who are fucked up from this shit, okay? So many of us. It got passed down through our ancestors. We've had real life experiences where we've dealt with not having enough money, maybe not having a good place to live. Whatever the situation was, we've all been stressed about money. And this is something that we have not collectively dealt with healing. While so many folks are hoarding money, convincing us that the problem is actually your neighbor across the street that doesn't hold the same political views as you, while there are hoarders in both parties. Y'all, let's wake up. Do not waste your energy on these arguments with people who hold different political views than you. It is a waste of time, and it is not helping anyone. In fact, it may be perpetuating the problem. I mean, that's what I think. I'm ranting. So your job this week is to rest and work on healthy boundaries and self-reflection, taking your power back, creating boundaries where they are missing, maintaining boundaries also is a practice. Once you've created a boundary, then you need to maintain it. And keeping in mind that between November 14th, 2020 and January 5th, 2021, we are actually revisiting the territory that we had been experiencing between June 5th, 2020 and September 10th, 2020. That's when the retrograde began. So we backed up to June 5th, and now we're traversing that territory once again. So take a look back through your calendar or your journal, or just do some self-reflecting about like what were the themes of the summer. And for instance, what was Gemini season like for me? What was Cancer season like for me? What was Leo season like, and the beginning of or part of Virgo season? So consider those and hang in there. I love ya. Bye-bye.